Before we get into this story or any type of intro, I want to make something clear. I want you to hear me loud and clear. In no way, shape, or form do I endorse, take pride, or promote any type of violence or crimes. In no shape or form is there any glory in anything I'm about to tell you. I'm not who I once was. Don't watch this and say, oh, you think you're a tough guy, or, you know, it is what it is, man. That's what it was. It's not what it is today. I'm not who I once was. I don't want anybody to listen to this story, my story, and get any stupid ideas. I don't want anybody to listen to any of this and think that getting locked up, committing crimes, or doing anything illegal is the way to live life. It's not. My incarceration, all my different incarcerations, sucked. There was never a time where I was just like, it's great. It was a terrible life. It was the life I chose. These are the choices that I made, the mistakes that I made. This was my life. Y'all already know what it is. Jay Williams, Let's Live Life, and we're back. I did a short video one time on my road to prison. And that's what today's video is going to be. Today's video is going to be the years, months, and days that led up to my long-term incarceration. Events that I've never spoke about, things that transpired that a lot of people that know me know, the courts know, things that y'all don't know. And I'm going to do this video today in hopes that anybody that lives a similar life to what someone out there watching this video will stop while you still have sentenced to life, sentenced to whatever the judge gives you, thinking back on everything you did that put you there. They say the road to prison is paved with bad intentions. I'll go along with that. Because no matter what my intentions were with everything that I did out in the streets, everything I did prior to going to prison, I knew it was wrong. Even if I was just, you know, trying to pay the bills, hurting somebody else to get the money, it's bad intent. You know, it's just bad all the way around the board. Selling drugs, selling crack, selling coke, selling pills. I looked at it as if I got all this money, but I never took the time to stop and think about the impact it was having on the people that were spending the money. On how these people had children that were possibly going without because their parents were addicts. I always just kind of looked at it like, well, if they don't get it from me, they're going to get it from somebody. So no matter what happens, the kids are going to suffer. And everybody else, you know, that sells drugs had that same mentality. So you put all of us together, or wherever, you know, not together as a whole, but the mentality as a whole. And that's what allows addiction and stuff like that to strive. So we're going to go back on this one, man. We're going to go back in time. Back to my younger years, my teenage years, up until the day that I got locked up. Who I was, how I progressed, events that changed me over time and molded me into the career criminal I will become. It's not all paint the picture where you're the bad guy. But for anybody that gets on here and leaves all their bad stuff out, the reality of what they had done, the facts of the matters, it's in a place you should be. Be real to everyone else and be true to yourself. Am I ashamed of things I've done? Hell yeah, I'm ashamed of things I've done. Do I regret things I've done? Hell yeah, I regret things I've done. But I can't change or undo the things I've done. And everything from then to now is what's made me the man that I am, the father that I am. I no longer blame others, no longer make excuses for my actions, because my thoughts and my actions are my own. Without further ado, my road to prison. You know I done seen it. You know I done lived it. So let's relive it. Real quick, Hummer's in the shop. Went in yesterday. Hope to get that back in the next couple weeks. Picked my brother up from prison Monday. He's back in the hole. Just can't get right. Dude is always in the hole. But I take that 6-hour trip. I'll leave 12 a.m. Monday morning. And I'll get to the prison a little bit after 6 Monday morning. He should come out around, between 6 and 7. Just some quick updates on what's going on with life. Let's get back into the purpose of today's video. I tell people all the time I'm blessed. I was able to overcome and make it out of my madness. Make it out of the madness that had become what I known to be life. My life was far from normal. From the day I was born, there was nothing normal about my life. Whether it be my home life, the life outside of the home, school. It's almost like, you ever seen somebody with one of them tattoos or heard the saying, born to lose? It was kind of like, the deck was stacked against me from the beginning. And even though I had the options of doing different things, I know that now. I didn't see that then. If you're lucky enough to make it out and not end up with a life sentence, end up in a grave, end up on the run forever, if you're lucky enough like I have been, you look back on it, there's usually a defining moment. There's a moment that if you search hard enough, you will find that changed everything. For me, that moment came when I was 17, 1997. My dad died that year. Prior to my dad dying, we didn't have a good relationship. My dad wasn't a very emotional man. Never told me he loved me. I don't remember hugs. There was no tuck me in at night. And I honestly can say the man never ever, in the 17 years I was alive, looked at me and said, "Son, I love you." So prior to him dying, in the days to come before, we're getting this big fallout. I had this chick stay the night. I was young. My little teenage girlfriend. She stayed the night, and I had a job working at this paint company. We were up most of the night making noise, just playing around, you know what I mean? Next morning, I don't want to get up for work. My brothers and sisters are banging on the door. Mom, dad said, "Get up, get up, get up." Me being 17, being a little punk, I scream on them, right? So I eventually get up, and when I come out the room, my dad's just crazy disrespectful with his mouth. He goes in on the girl, starts calling her a whore, this, that, calling me names. And by now, I done been through enough in life that I'm not scared of him no more. All them beatings he gave me, all the times he put his hands on me and my brothers and sisters, I feel like it's time. And I'm not telling anybody to ever buck up to your parents. It's not what you should do. This plays a big part in why I spiraled. But in him running his mouth, and my mom was standing in the hallway, he's coming from the living room. I just come down the staircase in the apartment we live in. My mom comes out the kitchen. And I don't know if she's seen it in his eyes or she saw it in my eyes, but she knew this shit is about to get bad. Jay ain't no little boy no more. They're going to rumble. As he's running his mouth, it's October at this point, so it's a little cold outside. I got a hoodie under my arm. I'm getting ready to go out the door, and he's steadily coming behind me, running his mouth, and I'm like, it's time. I drop the hoodie. I turn around. My mom's trying to get in between us, and I just, pretty much, what's up? Square off with him. I'm like, I'm not scared of you. You can't beat me. You know what I mean? I might have been scared of you when I was a kid. These men in the neighborhood might be scared of you, but I'm not scared of you. I come face to face with my demon, my bully, the person I feared most, and the one man I've feared more in my life than I've ever feared anybody else. I can't think of a person that has ever struck fear in me the way my father did. I'm ready to go. Let's go. Let's go. Come on. And I don't know if, I don't know how my mom kept us apart. At this point, my dad had started getting sick. He become diabetic. That played no part in me wanting to fight him. I was at my wit's end because it just, 17 years of this shit had finally come to a head. Let's do it, you know? My mom keeps us separated. He's telling me, I'll kill you, you little bastard, I'll kill you. And I'm telling him, come on, bring it. You know what I mean? Just snapping, man. I'm going off the deep end. What I'm gonna tell you next, you need to listen to, because it was something that I've had to live with ever since. My last words to my father were, I fucking hate you and I hope you die. He was not no good dad, but he was my dad. He was no good role model, but he was my dad. He had hurt me more times than I could remember, but at the end of the day, that was my dad. I left out the door, went on to work. Work van was there to pick me up. I hopped in the work van all mad. Went and stayed at some of my homeboys' houses for a couple of nights. Didn't even return home. And the next time I heard about him, my aunt called. I was actually sitting at my homeboy BB and David's house, and I'm in their room, and I'm watching my other two homeboys on the news that had just killed 2 state troopers in South Carolina. I'm watching this. I'm like, oh shit! Like, my homeboys just snapped out on the news. Like, there they are, man. They killed 2 cops. This is all in this time period. I'm watching this unfold, and I'm like, damn, they went hard. Like, they murdered 2 cops. I talked to Jay. Yeah, Jay's here. Let me talk to him. I get on the phone. As soon as I get in on the phone, it's not like that. She's like, they did a surgery on him. He should have woke up. He's not woke up. While he was having surgery, he had a stroke, and it pushed a blood clot from his leg all the way to his brain. He's brain dead, laying in the hospital bed. Took a minute to kind of sink in. So I go to the hospital, and I go up there, I go in the room, and he's laying there, motionless. Breathing machine's got his chest going up and down, and I'm just standing there staring at him. Part of me is angry because of everything he had put me through in life. But then again, like I told you, that was my dad. So there's that part of me that's just like, am I really seeing what I'm seeing? My mom had stepped off to somewhere. She had went downstairs because my brothers and sisters were on the way, and they were much younger than me at this point. My little brother was like, Jesse was like 10. My other sister was like 7. And then, you know, my oldest sister was maybe 4 or 5 years younger than me. I think she's like 3 years younger than me. My aunt was on, other aunt was on the way with them up there. So my mama went down to meet them in the lobby, and I was up there. And so I went down, and I remember my little sister had this teddy bear. My dad was a monster when it came to me. Like, I took the blunt of everything he had to give. And a lot of times I took it to, like, protect my brothers and sisters. You know, I didn't want to see them be hurt the way he hurt me. So I felt like if they did something wrong, I would take the blame for it, because I didn't want to see them suffer. So they had a love for my father that I didn't have. I loved him, like I said, because he was my dad, but I didn't have that bond. We didn't have that I love you, hug, embrace type bond like he had with my brother and my sisters and them, right? My youngest sister comes walking up, and she's got a teddy bear in her hand. She's like, I brought this for Dad, all right? She's like, do you think he'll like it? You think he's going to get mad if I put it in the bed with him? They don't know what's going on at the hospital yet, right? So I said, no, I don't think he'd mind at all if you put him in the bed with it. It'd probably make him happy. So I'm looking at my mom, and I'm looking at my aunt, like, now I realize they don't know what's going on. They're just kids. They're just children. We get up to the floor of the ICU, the 7th floor in the ICU, and there's like a little waiting room outside the ICU, and they only let certain people in. Well, he's on his deathbed. He's already dead. He's brain dead. And y'all know the ICU, that's intensive care unit. That's where they take you after you have a serious surgery or you're really bad off. That's where you're constantly monitored. So like I said, they got that little room right outside of there where if you get bad news, that's where you're going to be when they bring it to you. If you've got to tell your family bad news or y'all waiting on the outcome of something, y'all go in this little waiting room. My aunt's standing at the door. My mom goes in, and my mom has been crying. Like, she's been crying hard. She can barely speak. She keeps hugging me and crying. My brother and sisters come in, and they see my mom, crying, and they're just trying to, I can see it in their face. They're confused. Like, why is she crying, They don't notice he went in for a triple bypass on his heart and that, he's gone. So my mom's doing her best to, like, be sweet and console them and be a mother. And she really can't bring herself to say what's going on. And she works it up, and we get into the whole, my little sister's like, when can we go in and see Dad? When can we go in and see Dad? My little sister loves my dad. He never put her through what he put some of the other ones of us through, right? When it comes to the physical abuse. And we just told her, like, he's not waking up. He's not going to be coming home. Things didn't go as planned. He's there. He's in the other room. You're going to get to see him. But this will be the last time that you see him. He looks like he's alive, but he's brain dead. He's dead. He will not wake up when we leave the hospital today. This is it. They start crying. They're young. They're not comprehending what my mom is saying, what I'm trying to help her say to them. I'm explaining to them what's going on as well. Then we all go in the room, right? Brothers and sisters, they completely break down. They lay their heads on him. They're crying, holding his hand, wiping his face, and I'm just standing back. And it's crazy. I remember so many details, man. I had this brown Dickies shirt on with this brown Kango with the little white kangaroo on the front of it, right? It's like a light tan color, and I'm just standing there like almost like an out-of-body experience, watching them grieve. They make their peace, they say their goodbyes, and by now I'm standing in the doorway, and everybody's hugging each other and crying, and they come on out the room, right? As they leave out, the doctors come in, and me and my mom are standing there, and they tell my mom, you need to make a decision. Like, they're keeping him on this breathing machine, but he's not. If he does come out of this and by some miracle wake up, he'll be a vegetable. He'll be like a child. Like, he will not ever function again. He will, he's been brain dead too long. And so me and my mom talked, and she was like, this isn't a decision I want to make. And I told her it's the best decision. It's what has to happen. He wouldn't want to, be like that. It's not fair. Let him go. So she signed the papers. We talked to the doctors a couple more minutes, and they told us, look, we're going to come in about 15 minutes and unhook him. Turn his oxygen off. Turn off everything else. And from there, it's on him. If he's going to survive, he'll continue to breathe. If not, when we turn the machines off, he'll stop. In the 15 minutes to come, I knew I had a small window. I stood there. No tears. I couldn't cry. So angry, I didn't know how to cry. And I tried my best to explain to him as he was laying there. I said, I love you. And I forgive you for the things you did. Said some more things, and I looked over, and there was a nurse that was like kind of eavesdropping, kind of listening to what I was saying to my dad. They come on in, they turn the machines off, and I put my hand on his chest. He breathed in, he breathed out. They unhooked the machine. He breathed in, he breathed out. And that was it. Never took another breath. Stood there for a little bit. And it's weird with death. Soon as death takes place, There's no mistaking it. There's no questioning it. You know, that's like you physically see the person like change in front of you. You see the life leave them. You see the texture of their skin change. You see all that in that moment. You can see it. So I stood there after he was officially dead for a couple of minutes, just with my hand on his chest. No heartbeat, no breathing. Then we left out the hospital. October 21st, he was buried. Now, by this time, I've already been in and out of lockup. I'm 17 years old. I am a convicted felon at 17. I've been locked up repeatedly at this age, in and out of trouble at this age. My life of crime has already started, and a lot of it was me rebelling. You know, there was nothing at home for me, so I stayed in the streets. I stayed around the dudes that were older than me or that were up to no good. Drinking 40s was an everyday thing. Smoking weed like my mind had gone bad. At 17 years old, I've got a pistol, you know, because I done been robbed out here where I live at in these apartment complexes. I'm not going to catch angry, so mad, just infuriated. Like I felt like I'd been defeated, like I'd been cheated, like, how dare you do all that to me and I don't never get no get back? You just die on me like that? Like, it just left me so mad and angry and hurt at the same time with all these different feelings and emotions going through my head that I didn't know what to do. That's when my spiral began. From there, it was picking fights, starting fights, robbing, stealing. I didn't care. Time I'm 18, I get my first little apartment. Boom, it ain't long after that, it gets raided. All of us get hauled off, you know what I mean? Most of my friends get hauled off to the detention center. I've told this story before. I'm real quick. Salute and rest in peace to Joe Claudio. When I told this story in the past, Joe was still alive. I just found out in the last few days that Joe was dead. He died a couple days ago. Salute to you, Joe. Rest in peace, bro. From there, it was crime after crime. In and out of jail, in and out of jail, in and out of jail. Well, then I meet this girl one day, riding down through Richmond with my homeboy, this dude named Rob. And Rob's got a Dodge Dakota that's lowered, and the inside cab is cut off, and he's got a shell on the back of it, custom painted, speakers all the way through the back. Like, this truck was like one of them show trucks with all the speakers in it. I meet this girl, we're riding down the street, and I would end up being with that girl for many years after this. Well, early on in our relationship, bear with me now, it's a long video. We've been together about 6-7 months. Now I'm no longer working at the paint company I'm working at because I done spazzed out and tried to fight the boss. I done got into it with my foreman and punched him in the face. Like I told you, I'm just angry inside, and everybody knows it. Nobody could deal with me because I was just young, dumb, and angry. So now I'm selling weed and a mixture of other drugs at the time, 100 miles and running. We had a Jamaican that we were getting our weed from out here in Richmond that's, I believe, now either dead or doing a lot of time. I can't remember which one. I know he did a lot of time, but I'm not sure if he's still alive. But we were getting weed. I'm talking $500-$600 a pound of that old dirty-ass Reggie Miller swag weed. Like, you get a pound of it, you're guaranteed to get 4 ounces of seeds out that pound. I'm working at this gas station, and the only reason I'm working at this gas station is because it's like a cover for me to sell weed. People are coming to the gas station all day long to buy weed. You can get anything from a 20 sack to a half pound if you want. You know what I mean? I'll go in the bathroom, weigh it out, bag it up, put it right in your bag with everything else. You hand me the money like you're paying for your stuff, your gas or whatever, and I put what goes in the register, and the money for the weed goes in my pocket. I'm 6-7 months into this relationship with this girl. That's what I'm doing, right? I call one day and she don't answer the phone. Like, and this is like one of the first people I could actually attach the word love to, right? And I'm not understanding it. She's not answering, and she's not answering, and she's not answering. And then a couple of days go by, and I'm like, man, what the hell is going on, right? I'd given her all these flowers, all these roses, tons and tons of flowers over time. She calls the store, and I answer the phone, and it was a Chevron gas station I was working at, and there was a men and women's bathroom outside beside the building where people would pull up and park. And she's like, look, this isn't working out, blah, blah, blah. I brung all the flowers back. And I'm like, what you mean it's not working out? Everything was good like a couple of days ago. What happened? Look, that's neither here nor there. She's cheating on me. I left the flowers outside the bathroom. So I go outside and I look, and there's this big brown paper bag full of dead roses. Had to have been 50, 60 dead roses in this bag. Just a whole bag of dead roses. I haven't liked flowers ever since. So I look at them and I'm like, I'm hurt. You know what I mean? I'm still dealing with a whole lot of other things, the stuff going on in the streets, the stuff with my dad, you know, just everything all compiled in one. And I'm like, okay. I'm not one of those dudes that begs. I'm not one of those dudes that pleads. I'm like, I get angrier. I'm going about my business, you know, whatever. Now I'm super heated because my feelings are hurt, my heart's hurt. I'm living off Tyrone Street in Richmond, and now I'm not working. Now I'm just a full-fledged drug dealer, catching crack sales out there, you know, skip through the alleyway behind to where I live at to the main strip where everybody comes through. And this strip, the only reason you come through there is one of three reasons. You're the police, you're a drug addict, or you live out there. Most people that came, if you've seen a car coming through there, there's a 9 out of 10 chance they were there to buy crack. So at this point, my dad's died. The girl that I thought I was going to be with forever, I've done found out is cheated on me. I've done went from working construction to working at a gas station. Went from selling weed to now I'm selling crack. I'm living in the projects. The place we live is just, it was Tyrone Street. What more can I say? You ain't never been to the suburbs and lived on a street called Tyrone Street. This is in the projects. Months go by, months and months go by, right? And I'm just, in the meantime, my crime spree, and I'm not going to get a lot into it, anything and everything pretty much, next to violating women or children or anything like that. My crime spree was just out of control. Every single night, we load up in the cars and just go terrorize the city. Anybody out there can get it. Run that. Let me get it. You know what I mean? Like, I'm strapped up. I don't go nowhere without a gun. There's been times I'd go to jail and I'd run from the cops and just toss the gun and get it off of me. And then get out of jail and go back right to where I tossed the gun at. You know, take it home, put a oily rag on it to try to get the rust spots off of it from where it rained. Fire it, make sure it works, and keep it going. The girl calls the house that I'm living at one day, right? Off Tyrone Street. And by now, probably another 6, 7 months have passed. She's like, yo, I miss you. I'm like, all right. So what's up? Where you staying at? You know, I drive by the apartment and stuff where you were living. You're not there anymore. Now the apartment got raided. You know, I lost the apartment. It got raided. Went to jail. I'm out. I've been to jail so many times after 18. She comes by where I'm staying at. And me being young and dumb, I take her back. All those funny feelings come back. I didn't know that at the time she had become one of the first people I had trusted in a very, very, very long time. I didn't know what it was to trust anymore. With her, I thought I could trust her. When she cheated on me and left me, all the trust I had in me, all the give-a-fucks I had in me left with it. What little bit I had left. With her returning, I thought it was something I could deal with. I thought it would be a good thing. But it just made me a bigger monster. Even though I cared about her, and I was willing to accept and forgive what she had done to me, I couldn't get over it. I started cheating. And when I mean cheating, like, to me, I felt like doing it was my get back. You know what I mean? For what she had done. I felt like it made me feel better knowing that I had done it too after she had done it. But I just took it to a whole new level. And then being wrapped up in the streets, I just became this person that I was so distant and so far away from being the person that anybody once knew, the guy that she met, the guy that my friends met. I just transformed into a whole different creature. You know what I mean? I wasn't the same person I was a few years back. I wasn't the same person I was a year ago. Much darker times had hit. I'd done things in those streets that I couldn't come back from. The trips to jail, the compilement of trips to the detention center, the deaths. In the meantime, I've got homeboys dropping like flies around me. Guys are getting murdered. Guys are going to prison for murder. You know, it's a bad, rough time in life. We fast forward. I done been locked up in Philly. I've been locked up in Virginia. I done went on the run to Illinois. Years have passed now. And this girl's still rocking with me. She's done cheated on me throughout our relationship. I've cheated so many times that if I tried to give you a number, I'd be a liar. That's just the facts of the matter. We get to a point where I'm selling coke, I'm selling crack, I'm selling pills, I'm selling all these different things. But now we done started snorting powder. I never smoked crack. I didn't smoke crack, not because it wasn't there, it wasn't available, I didn't think about it. I couldn't stomach the smell. Like, I hate the smell of crack. If I wanted to smoke it, I couldn't smoke it. It just turns my stomach when I smell it. You know what I mean? Like, it makes me want to go throw up in the corner somewhere. I'm like, how can they smoke that shit? I used to sit in the crack house and cover my nose or smoke a blunt or take Vicks and put Vicks right here so that all I could smell was the Vicks while they were smoking, right? Now I'm in this stage and I'm in my early 20s and we're snorting powder. Snorting powder all the time. Eating ecstasy as much as, you know, selling the ecstasy. So I've always got large supplies of ecstasy. These freezer bags full of ecstasy. Eating ecstasy. The old school triple stacks. 3, 4, 5 at a time. Gel tab acid. Breaking off big chunks. Eating it completely out of my mind. Not knowing what the hell I'm eating. What's in this stuff. I'm just eating it because I don't care, right? So I'm never myself now. And I'm even a bigger monster than I was earlier. It gets to a point where me and her I've been caught so many times cheating that I don't even try to hide it no more. We've got an apartment together. We've had houses together. I don't come home for days at a time. Girls calling my phone. Girls coming by the house. Girls leaving notes in the mailbox. Like, I'm a straight dude. I don't even care. You know what it is. If you don't like it, leave. You know what I mean? We take a break. We're toxic for each other. Take a break. And in the meantime, what we're supposed to be doing is working on each other. But I just took it as taking a break means go be with whoever. You know what I mean? So that's what I did. Started messing with all these different females. I get one pregnant. Me and my main chick I'm telling you about, we get back together. And I don't tell her that this girl's pregnant. She had already caught me with the girl one time before. So the last thing I want to do is come clean about this girl being pregnant. The stress sets in from knowing there's a baby on the way and that this is going to be the nail in the coffin of this relationship that was toxic on her behalf and my behalf. We should have never got back together, right? It comes to a point where a baby mama goes into labor prematurely at like 5 months. And I get a phone call, you need to get to the hospital, she's having this baby. Meanwhile, I ain't told my girl nothing about this baby coming. I'm at work and I'm driving in a Zuzu Trooper, an all-white Zuzu Trooper at the time. I get the call, hey, she's having a baby. My homeboy calls me. I'm like, stop playing, man. No, like, I love my son to death and I'm so blessed to have him. I couldn't ask for a better son. Such a great young man. But the brutal honesty of it was I didn't want to have a baby with this female. I've got to go home and own up to what I did during our breakup. Like us sharing confessions, you know, it's hard to tell somebody something like that. Somebody you spent so many years with, something like this, right? I get to the house and I've got to change because I'm back to work in construction. I got construction clothes on. I can't go up to the hospital like this. I hit the liquor store, get a big-ass bottle of tequila, Hornitos. And I'm bucking this tequila, driving my Zuzu Trooper, switching gears on the way home. I got about a 30-minute ride before I get to the crib. I pull up to the house. For some reason, she's sitting on the front steps. I get out, bottle in my hand. I look at her. She looks at me. She was smoking a blunt. I hit the bottle. Things have been okay at this point with me and her. And I walk up, she hands me the blunt. I hit the blunt a couple times, pass it back to her. I take a big swig out the bottle, and I say, here, hit this. She's like, no, I don't feel like drinking. I'm like, hit it. I got something to tell you. You might want to hit it. And she's like, well, whatever you got to tell me. I don't need to drink to hear. I said, remember that girl you caught me with? She was like, what, are you messing with her again? I said, no, just listen. Do you remember the girl you caught me with? She was like, yeah. I said, she's having a baby. She was like, all right, what you telling me for? What the hell's that got to do with you? Got to do with me? I said, she's having my baby. No, she's not. She is. She better not. She's not having your baby, Jay. She's having my baby. You better do something. Like, no. And she was hurt and upset because she couldn't have children. We've been together all these years. If she could have children, she would have been pregnant. I said, you're not understanding me. It's not she's having a baby. She's having the baby. She's having a baby? You kept this from me the whole time? There's nothing I can do about that now. She's at the hospital giving birth. She takes that bottle, turns that bitch up, drinking it like it's a peel out. I go to the hospital, and this whole big-ass fiasco takes place at the hospital. When I get there, there's a bunch of different chicks and stuff I know that kick it with my baby mama. They're there. When I go in the hospital room, there's nobody in there. It's quiet. I'm like, this is the room, right? And I look at the name on the door. I'm like, yeah, this is the room. And as I get ready to walk out the room, I hear noises. I'm like, the hell is the noise? I go and I open the bathroom door, and there's people in there doing cocaine in the hospital bathroom. The kid ain't been born. My son ain't been born a couple hours, and they're in there getting high, right? So I'm like, because he's so premature. He's under 2 pounds. I'm like, nah, man, this is, you know what I mean? Like, it's just too much, man. My day's been too bad already. And they're like, fuck it. They don't know what we're doing. And this is my right hand to God. I'm like, you know what? I don't even give a fuck no more, man. I go sit in the chair in the hospital room. They got a little trash can right there. You throw paper towels and shit in and tissues and whatnot. I reach in my pocket, pull out the box of Dutches, crack a Dutch, dump the blunt guts right into the trash can, sit right in the chair and roll up a blunt. Sitting in the hospital. On the NICU, in the preemie floor. Light the blunt up, start smoking the blunt. Everybody smells it on the whole floor. You can't hide the smell of weed. Not that I'm trying to hide it. Doctors and nurses come in. Sir, what are you doing? What's up? You can't smoke in here. You can't smoke that here. This time weed's like, you know what I mean? It's outlawed everywhere. There ain't nowhere it's legal at this point. So I'm like, all right, whatever, man. We're calling security. Well, you can crack the window, but because you're so high in the air, the window doesn't fully open because I guess they don't want anybody falling out or jumping out. So the window is cracked. We're calling security. I take the blunt and I throw it out the crack in the window. And I leave. Me and the baby mama get into a huge fight. I end up having to run through the hospital, down a staircase. I jumped off another floor, jumped on the elevator, hid in the parking garage. This whole fiasco. It ensues. So boom. My son's here. Everything works out as far as his health. Doctors at first were saying, y'all, you know, this is bad what y'all are doing. You shouldn't let this child suffer like this. He's too young. He'll never make it. Like, y'all should make a decision to, you know, take him, just like my father. Take him off this breathing machine. Take him off. And I said, nah, man, that's God's call. I'm not, he's going to fight. You know what I mean? That's my son. He's going to fight. He's not going to go out like that. And I'm not signing nothing, right? As y'all know, my son is 19 now. Big, healthy, beautiful young man. You fast forward, I'm deeper and deeper in the streets. Deeper, deeper, deeper. In and out of jail. Continuously getting locked up in Philadelphia. I get out, come back to VA. No sooner I get back to VA, I get locked up. I'm spending more time locked up now than I am out on the streets. And I'm still in this relationship with this girl that said she could accept this with this baby. So to get a fresh start, I move, right? Pack up, let's move. I get this high-rise apartment, this beautiful apartment on Monument Avenue, overlooking the city. We're on the 3rd floor. We got a big-ass balcony. It's in a popping section of the city. There's bars all around us, nightclubs. Like, it's beautiful. Come out in the morning, you see the morning traffic, people jogging, walking their dogs. I'm like, yeah, this is different. This is way different than Tyrone Street. This is way different than, you know what I mean, Somerset Glen and the projects I'm used to. This is all right. Doesn't take long. And now, at this point now, I'd have to say my son is probably about 1.5 years, maybe a little bit older. I haven't been much of a dad since he's been home. A, because I'm trying to please this woman. B, because I'm so caught up in the streets. C, because I'm locked up nonstop. I'm never really free. I get out and I usually don't make it a month or so before I'm back in handcuffs on another charge or I can commit a new crime. We come in one day, and I can't forget this. It was a Saturday, and she just got a look on her face. And I had went and bought my son a pair of shoes, and they were sitting on like the bar area in our kitchen, where you would like sit and eat cereal and stuff. And I come in, and she's just kind of staring at the shoes. And to date, she hadn't touched my son. She hadn't held my son. She had never spoke to him. She would like look at him when he was in the car with us, but I could tell she just had this. It hurt her. It was like a grudge. It hurt her to see me have a child with someone else. And it was like a slap and a spit in her face at the same time, because that's what she wanted more than anything else. I come in, she's standing there staring at those little shoes, and she said, "You've got to make a decision." And I'm like, I just got in, man. I ain't with this bullshit. What are you talking about? Make a decision about what? You're either going to be with me, or you're going to be, a father to this little bastard. You're going to raise this kid that, you know what I mean? She just started saying things she shouldn't say. It comes down to make a decision. Me or him. Go to the refrigerator. Open the refrigerator. And she used to drink these beers called Yinglings. So I get a Yingling out. Blood. I'm going to choose my son. Well, you're going to lose me. You're going to lose me. I'm going to leave. I said, all right. I said, well, here's what's going to happen. It's Saturday. I'm going to leave. And you got until next Saturday to move out. Take whatever you want. I don't care. It doesn't even matter to me anymore. I don't care. It's like that. I mean, you're making it like that. That's how it's got to be. This is how it's going to be. I leave. Get all pissy drunk. You know what I mean? 7 days straight bender. Trashed. Nonstop. Eating pills by the handful. Smoking weed like it. I'm not even getting high at this point, because I'm always intoxicated. I come back that Saturday, I walk in the apartment. It's empty. Doesn't feel like a home. Doesn't feel like a space that two people used to share. I'm looking around. All the plants are gone. All the pictures are gone. Everything that once made this place a home is now gone. I'm gonna plug my camera up. About to die. It's like a shell of an apartment. It's a shell of what once was. Love don't live here no more, right? She took things that, she just took them out of spite. Took the PlayStation, TVs, shoes, my clothes, all types of stuff that she didn't need. She just took it to, she was angry. What do you think I did? I'm one of them dudes that when it gets bad, instead of trying to fix it, I just smear shit all over it. I used to feel like everything I touched turned to shit, right? I used to actually say that. Instead of me saying, all right, man, it's all right. At least I still got the couch. I got the love seat. I got my bed. She took everything you could fit inside of a car or an SUV, but like the big furniture, we had to lug it 3 flights up, me and my homeboy, to get it in the apartment, then cock it and fight it all sideways to get it through the door. She couldn't get that stuff out. She took everything that her and her people could tote, right? Instead of me saying, it's all right, man, I bounced back. It's time to get my life together. I continued to spiral. I go get this sheet of plywood and these sawhorses from my homeboy. We paint it black and set up a beer pong table right in the middle of the living room. Fuck it, I'm a bachelor now, right? Throwing parties every single day. Anybody's invited. Walk out on the balcony, and you got to think, The fan where I'm living at, there's a lot of college students around there at the time. Just go out on the balcony, hang some red balloons up, some red Solo cups outside. People know there's a party there. Walk out on the balcony, hey, party! And just leave the door open to the building, leave my apartment door open and shit. In a matter of 30 minutes, there's people in there shoulder to shoulder. And there I am just bobbing my head to the music, drinking the liquor, smoking blunts, popping pills. We fast forward now, again. In and out of jail. I've lost the apartment. Not paying no bills. My Isuzu Trooper's long gone. I'd had several other cars since then. I'd been wrecked or damaged in some way. Some of them been towed. I'm in the streets heavy. I said, you know what? I got to get away, man. I keep getting in trouble in Virginia. I just got to get away. So I head back to Philly. I'm not in Philly 3 days, 4 days. My name gets ran. It comes back with a probation violation. They lock me up. I sit in Philly months and months and months and months in the House of Corrections. On this violation, pending court and all this other shit. They keep continuing my case. And then they let me free. And this is the God's honest truth. My cellmate said, he asked me a question. He said, what are you going to do if they let you out, Jay? I said, shit. I'm going to do what I always do. He was like, what's that? I said, I'm going to go get my gun, get a pack, and I'm going to go right back to hustling. He was like, and this dude's facing a lot of time. He's going to prison for a long time. I'm on some petty shit, right? At this point, I'm just a petty criminal that's been committing big crimes, but hasn't been caught for nothing major, except for a robbery and malicious wounding years ago in 1999 in Philly that I ended up, you know, finagling, sending my people to find the guy in the streets, pay him off, and, you know, so I ended up with a conviction, but I also ended up with time served because I knew they were about to lose the case. So I took the plea on that one. But at this point in my life, and I'm sitting in House of Corrections now, 24 years old, I've lost everything. I have nothing. I'm a piece of shit dad. I'm a piece of shit person. Been locked up God knows how many times. Here I am locked up again. I get out, come back to VA. I'm out less than a couple weeks. Nobody wants to hire me. All the guys that I used to work for, a lot of them, to be honest, they were drug addicts. I bankrupted their company selling them crack. Like, they would find out I was a coke dealer, and then some of these guys were recovering addicts. I go from being an employee to being their drug dealer to, in 90 days' time, ain't nobody got a job. In 90 days' time, they've lost everything. So, lost my girl, have no vehicles, have no home. My criminal record's getting worse and worse. Jail has become my new home. I spend more time in jail than I do in the streets. I've created so many enemies now out here in the streets that anytime I'm out in the streets, it's straight chaos. Anywhere I go, whether it be the club, the corner store, something's going to pop off because I'm at a point in life where I just don't give a shit. Rob whoever, put hands on whoever. Plus, I got pistols, so I feel invincible. If I can't beat you, I can beat you. This is my sick, twisted way of thinking. I go on these little robbing sprees at times where I go to bad neighborhoods. With the bad neighborhoods, I know I can sit back in the cut, watch dudes hustle, watch them do hand-to-hands, and just wait. When some of the homeboys disperse and go to re-up or go do this or do that, I swoop in. Rob them of everything they got, get up out of there before anybody can come back. I get super bent one night. I know that's a typical night, just get trashed. And that day in particular, I had robbed a dude I knew, got $1,500 off of him. I hit my homeboy Philly up. Hey, Philly, what's good, man? What's up, Jay? You wanna go to the strip club? Shit, yeah, I'm about it. You got money, I got money. We go in there all night long, just I'm throwing ones, 20s. All night long, just making it rain in there. This is robbery money. I'm throwing it in the air. Get shit-faced drunk. Takes me and drops me off at this place I've been staying, right? Wake up, I'm all hungover. Done blown through all the money from yesterday's robbery. Gotta put some money in my pockets. I done robbed people that used to buy crack from me. Sold them dummies. You know what I mean? Because I done robbed the dope man. You know what I mean? And ran off on him, ran off on the plug. So now I can't re-up. So I created so much beef that for me to make money in the streets, it's gotten difficult. It's got real hard because don't nobody want to deal with me because of this stick-up shit. Who wants to go do business with the guy that's possibly going to rob you? I hit him up that morning. I'm like, what's up, bro? He's like, what up? I said, what you getting into today? He's like, shit, probably just going to chill with the kids and the girl. All right, that's what's up. What you getting into? I said, I don't know, man. Smoked this blunt, popped these Zans, drank this little bit of liquor that's left, go grab some 40s, I'm going to call it a day. I'm going to get started. All right, well, hit me up this evening. Chilling with this girl named Sarah at the time. Sarah's just a good friend of mine. She was, you know, just something to do when there was nothing to do. She was just somebody I hung out with. She driving me around. This is how my night starts. There were some dudes that was talking shit about me and it made it back to me. So I tell her, take me by there. She's like, what? I'm like, you know where they live at? She's like, my homegirl does. She messes with the one dude named Powder. I said, well, take me by there. These dudes are supposed to be like some go hard ass dudes, right? I'm super gone off the Xannies. You know, the Xannies make you think you're Superman, King Kong, Incredible Hulk. She takes me by there and there's a party, full-fledged party taking place. I said, yeah, I walk up, I turn the doorknob. Nobody even look at me. Now, I know this dude keeps this AK-47, this chopper, right beside his couch. Everybody done told me about it. He keeps it right behind the lamp and the night table, propped up. I've had a lot of different people tell me about it. And the reason I paid attention to it, because I had all intentions on, at some point in time, breaking in and stealing this gun. It just so happens that now I got beef with these dudes because they're running their mouths. So I walk up in the party. They're all in the kitchen. I got to walk through the living room to get to the kitchen. As soon as I walk in, and she stands at the door behind me like, yo, this dude is crazy. He just showed up to a party with dudes he's beefing with a whole house full of his ops and enemies. Like, I'm on some Death Wish shit. I don't even care, right? And as I'm walking through the party, I'm looking at dudes and I'm looking at females. I look over in the corner and there sits that chopper. I said, walk over to the corner. There's a girl sitting on like the side of the couch, excuse me. Put my arm by her, pull it off behind the couch, rack it back, walk in the kitchen and point it around the kitchen. Fuck you say about me? Start robbing people right there in the kitchen. We go out, get in her car. She got like a Ford Explorer. She's like, you're crazy. She loved that shit though. She loved that gangster shit. Like, she was hype. You're crazy. I ain't never seen her like that. Like, no, you're so crazy. And I'm like, yeah, whatever. Riding around with his gun in the car now. Come on, let's go. We leave, we go somewhere. I dropped the gun off, a bunch of other things, because I'm afraid people came out the house after this, afraid they might call the police about what I just did. I just robbed some shit of people with their own gun. I know they're going to call the cops, you know what I mean? They didn't call the cops. But I couldn't keep the weapon in the vehicle, because in case they had taken down the license plates, I get pulled down the street. Oh, shit. Convicted felon in possession of a gun. I hit Philly up a little bit later. What's up, man? By now, I remember that day, I think, and y'all can think I'm lying. Believe me if you want. You ain't got to believe me. I remember I started that day off with like 10, 15 blue footballs. Blue footballs, for y'all that don't know, it's a certain Xanax. We just call them footballs. I don't want liquor. Still just smoking weed like that shit don't even get you high. And he's like, bro, you all right? I said, yeah, I'm good. He's like, what's up? What'd you do? I said, I'm about to go hit these licks, man. I hit a lick earlier. Got the boy Powder and his homeboys ran up in there. Got the gun up off of him, laid everybody down. He's like, yo, you wildin', bro. I said, yeah, that's whatever, man. I said, but I'm going to holler at you, man. I'm about to go hit these other licks. He's like, who you got with you? I tell him I got the chick Sarah with me. He's like, nah, dude, nah. You can't be doing that, Jay. Somebody's going to kill you. Like, you going to get laid down out there. Like, we got too much beef. And he's in the middle of my beef. It's my ace. We're like this. We do everything together. He's like, nah, man, I'm on the way, man. Like, you can't. He's trying to talk me out of it. But once I get my mind set to something, I'm going to do it. He shows up, and I tell the girl, all right, look, I'll hit you up later, man. Be safe. Throw her some cash and shit. He's like, what you got in mind? What you got in your mind? I said, look, we're going to go to such and such apartments. Be a bunch of dudes out there, man, and we're going to rob these dudes, lay them down. He's like, man, you tripping, bro. If you need some money, I got you. I said, nah, man. For me at this point, it was self-destruct mode. It wasn't even about the money. It was about me releasing that rage, releasing that inner demon. And please don't think I'm bragging. This ain't me, man. This is just the truth of what it was. He tries to talk me out of it. I'm like, bro, I'm not trying to hear that shit. You know what I mean? He's got his young boy with him in the back seat when he pulled up. And he's got the Excursion on 23s, the Lexani rims, you know, the Pirelli Scorpion, 2-inch low-profile tires. At the time, the 23s was the biggest they made. Money green, chrome roll bar, chrome steps. I tell the youngin', yo, jump in the back seat, man. When I say youngin', this dude was like 18, so he's a young boy. I'm like, get in the back seat, man. He jumps in the back seat. I get in the passenger seat. I tell him where we're going to hit this lick at. He's like, all right, fuck it, man. Let's go. We pop some more Zans. He's got a bottle. We're both hitting his bottle. We're riding around looking for dudes out here. Don't find nobody. I tell him, hit this other complex. We go to this other apartment complex. It's a bunch of dudes out back of this apartment. Run up on them. Whoop-de-whoop. Bunch of shit transpires. Shit hits the fan. Shit backfires on us. These dudes out back of this apartment, we don't realize that inside this apartment is a whole house that we're out back. You know, these dudes come out the house like some shit out of a zombie movie. It was just so many people, so fast, rushing us. It's dark out here, so it's hard to tell who's who, who's my homeboy, who's our enemies at this point. And it's just complete chaos. And I look, and he's rumbling everybody he can. And I jump in the mix of it. He takes off, running to the truck, gets up out of there, right? Actually, I take off running to the truck, get up out of there, and I had seen him break loose, right? So I'm thinking, boom, he's at the truck. I get to the truck. He's not at the truck. It's dark. So I'm like, shit. I run back towards all the fighting and commotion, dive head first into it, go back to fighting, rumbling, fighting, going at it with all these dudes. Meanwhile, he was at the truck. He was coming around the back. I ran up on the passenger side, looked in the window, didn't see him, and thought he was back there. I've done ran back to the combat, thinking they got my homeboy. He's yelling out the window, come on, come on. I run. I told you, got the step on the side of the truck. I jump on the side of the truck, and I tell him, pull off, pull off. He drives off. I'm standing on the side step, holding onto the mirror. This dude throws this big-ass Michael Myers carving knife at me, and it goes, fing. Ricochets off the side of the truck. I tell him, keep going, keep going, keep going. We get down the block, pull over, I hop off the side of the truck, open the door, I get inside, and I'm like, that was crazy. He's like, oh, you wild, man. By now, our fists are all mangled up. We leave there, I'm still not happy. Still just out of my mind. We go rob the dude that would send me to prison. Hurt dude really bad. I held dude during the robbery. We actually thought this dude was somebody we knew. Somebody had called and said, hey, such ran up in y'all's hotel room, got y'all for that, got y'all for that. This dude ran up in our hotel room, stole a bunch of shit, stole some guns, some money, some weed. Been looking for this dude for a while now. Gonna give it to his ass when we catch him, right? This is where he's at. I just seen him walk through there. Hey, head to this, head there now, man, head there. We go through there. It's dark out. No street lights. Dark ass street with all these trailers out there. Park around the corner. Creep up on dude. Catch him. I put him in a guillotine. Like chicken wing. Rack him up. Run his pockets. Went to prison for all this. All this is known. He tries to yell for help for one of his homeboys over there. He gets hit. Boom. Shatters his jaw. I lift him back up. Gets hit again. Breaks all this. This time he goes limp. I drop him. He falls, and he falls hard. When he falls, just the motionless body, the body is just all weight. He's got nothing to protect him from falling. He's unconscious, so he's not going to put his hands out. He falls. smashes his face on the ground and does more damage. It sucks telling these stories, but it's the reality. He's like, yo, we done too much, Jay. We good, man. Like, I gotta get home. I'm like, yeah, let me call the girl to come get me. So I hit her up. She comes through, we meet up, picks me up. He drops the young boy off, heads home. And as I'm riding with this girl, my phone rings. I answer the phone. It's robbery, homicide on the phone. They ask, can they speak to Williams? And I'm like, yeah, this is him. Who is this? Detective Zach Keenan. Robbery, homicide. I said, you got the right number? Yeah, I got the right number. I'm pretty sure I do. Were you out such and such tonight? Nope. You could tell me you weren't out in this neighborhood tonight? Nope. Several people seen you out there, and there was another dude we attempted to rob right before this, but come to realize that, damn, we know this dude. Later on down the line, we realized, damn, we know the dude that we actually robbed. Almost robbed one of a dude we knew. Nah, man, I ain't been out there. That was somebody else. You sure? Yeah, I'm sure. Where you at right now? I said, nowhere near Richmond, man. I'm at the beach. I've been at the beach. You know what I mean? I'm thinking I'm slick. Oh, well, then this is easy then. Good. You're at the beach. Yeah, I'm at the beach. You staying in a hotel or motel? I'm staying at a hotel. Oh, okay. Well, look, let's go ahead and clear your name off the list of potential suspects. Go down to the front lobby or from your room and just call me from the hotel phone. That's going to pop up on my caller ID. I'm going to know you're in Virginia Beach right now. You couldn't have possibly been in two places at the same time, right? I said, yeah, ain't no problem, man. I'm going to call you. All right, make sure you call me and I'll be waiting on your call. Hung up the phone. I'm in the passenger seat of this girl's Explorer. I said, we got to go. Go where? We got to go back to Philly. I got to get out of VA. Why? What's wrong? That was robbery, homicide. I think we killed dude. Who? She didn't know about all this stuff that happened after I got dropped off. Wake up the next morning, and everything I just told you came back to me bits and pieces at a time. This story I just told you of that day and that night, I didn't remember for the longest time. It started coming to me in dreams. As I spent more time locked up, I started to remember the little details, and everything was so hazy from the Xanax and there's some things in life I still don't remember to this day from the Xanax and the drinking, right? But this stood out to me. It started to come back to me over weeks, months, and years. We head to Philly. I wake up the next morning, and I'm on my homeboy Jimbo McClay. Rest in peace, Jimbo McClay, James McClay, Jim McClay. I wake up, I'm on my homeboy Jimbo McClay's couch. Remember, I felt like shit. I wake up and I'm like, sit up. I look around, I'm like, where am I at? Like, I don't remember much of anything from the night before. For real, next to nothing. I'm like, yo, where am I at, man? People are sprawled out, sleep here, sleep there. I'm like, yo. I walk and open the door, step out front, and I'm like, I'm on Greenway Ave, man. I'm in Southwest Philly. Like, what the fuck am I doing in Southwest? Was I in Southwest yesterday? Have I been dreaming that I was in VA? When the hell did I get to Virginia? When the hell did I get to Philly? Like, I'm just discombobulated. What's going on? Back in Philly, on the run. They're looking for us everywhere. Can't go home. I ain't got a home. Last few months, I just been sleeping on people's couches, sleeping here, sleeping there, you know, like a rolling stone. Where I lay my head, I call my home. Doesn't take us long. No sooner than we get back to Philly, and you know, I wake up and I figure out everything that's going on. All right, I'm in some shit. You done did it this time, dummy. We're fighting nonstop. Every single day for this short period of time we're in Philly on this one, we're fighting. We leave the house, we go down the streets, something jumps off. Go to another neighborhood, something jumps off. And it's jumping off now to the point that we can't, I've done recreated VA in Philly now. Anywhere I go, we done got the rumbling, we done got the fighting, this has happened, that's happened. Like, we're not safe nowhere, you know what I mean? Like, we just cause complete chaos, just smear shit on my life everywhere I go. I'm destroying myself. I'm lucky to be alive at this point. So many people want to kill me. People in VA want me dead for what we've done to this dude. We got guys that think we're still in VA, riding around looking for us, searching for us, attacking people that are close to us, that have been to my baby mama's house. A girl came by that morning to drop her kid off at my baby mama's house. They jumped out, pistol whipped her, thinking that was my kid's mom. They're pulling up on family members, calling family members like, these dudes want blood, they're out for war. Expected, we hurt one of theirs, right? Now here we are in Philly, and we're at war again. Out in Philly, jacking dudes, robbing dudes, hurting dudes. Everywhere we go, it's chaos, man. Now I'm selling wet, but I'm also smoking wet. Wet is both, PCP. I'm smoking dippers, Sherm. Like, ain't nothing wrong with just smoking Sherm like it's weed. You know what I mean? You ever met a Sherm head that smoked too much Sherm? You see the effects it has. I'm just smoking these dippers all the time. I don't care, man. I'm just drinking nonstop, eating Xanny bars all day, every single day. We know we can't go home. Now we're limited at where we can go in Philly, right? Get to the day before I get locked up, we ain't been in Philly not even a week, man. Wasn't. 42 days ago, I was in Philly. 42 days ago, I got released from the House of Corrections in Philly. I've been out 6 weeks now. I'm back in Philly because I can't be in VA. I'm wanted. We get up one day, start our day off like any other. Actually, on this day, my homeboy Philly gets the rumbling, man. He fights this big-ass dude out our way named Doc. And we had been up all night getting messed up. Just who knows what time we went to sleep off of the bars and the liquor and, you know, the perks and the wet. It was just a long, long night. We wake up that day in general, the day before we get locked up, and we roll a blunt, get some more alcohol, continue the day, jump right back into it like we ain't missed a beat. You know what I mean? Like all this didn't just happen. A little bit later that day, we kicked it with our homeboy Jimmy Brinks a few nights before. And Jimmy Brinks is this big and upcoming rapper at the time, out Philly, real hot in the streets. Had just done a song with Eve. He had just done a song with The Game called Pipe Down. Jimmy Brinks featured in The Game. And The Game had just got big on the scene, on the hip-hop scene, right? Well, Game did a show that night in Philly with Snoop Dogg, all facts. And Brinks is like, yo, I think they were on the same label or because they'd done a song together, something like that. He was linked in through management and whatnot with The Game. He was like, yo, we got an invite. I got an invite. He did. To the Brinks after, you know, the Game after party tonight. Y'all come with me. If y'all with Brinks, you're good. We're like, all right. Our one homeboy that had come there from VA, he came up with, a few days afterwards, he came up with us, took the train. We picked him up. By now, the girl Sarah got arrested for a DUI. We got pulled a couple nights prior. They didn't run none of our names by the grace of God, but she was drunk, so they ran hers. And she had got locked up. Her little Explorer got impounded. Her people came and got her. She went back to VA. She was done with us, right? That night rolls around. It's probably about 5:30. My homeboy that came up from VA, we're like, yo, we're going to this Brinks after party. We can go over to this Game after party. I keep saying Brinks. We can go over to Jimmy Brinks' apartment in South Philly for a little while, kick it, and then, you know, later tonight, after the concert and shit, we'll hit the after party. You trying to go? Nah, man, hell no. That's going to be too many people. I'm just going to chill in Southwest. All right, that's cool, man. Him and Jimmy McClay head down the block, and we're headed up the street to catch a Scepter. The Scepter's the bus that runs through Philly. Then we're going to jump on the L, which is a subway, and make our way over to South Philly. We're walking down the street and we're headed towards 71st Street. And we hear gunshots down the block from where we just came from. Whole bunch of gunshots ring out. My homeboy from VA comes running to where we're at. We're at the bus stop waiting on the bus to pull up. We're like, yo, what the fuck is you running from? He's like, yo, they shooting at us. They shooting at us, man. They shooting at Jimmy. I'm like, what? Shooting at Jimmy McClay, man. We're like, what the fuck you leaving for? We all take off back down the block in the direction. We're crazy, man. We run towards the gunfire, right? Dude with the pistol. It's a bunch of dudes trying to jump Jimmy. They see us coming. We run up, start running these dudes. The dude with the gun takes off running. Jets down the block, right? This big ass fight ensues. People come out the stores, stop fighting in front of our stores. Cops are coming. We jet. Run back down to 71st, just in time to hop on the SEPTA bus, right? We take the SEPTA. By now, my homeboy is like, hell no, I'm not hanging out in Southwest. Like, y'all crazy out here in Philly, man. Like, all y'all do is fight and shoot at each other. I'm going with y'all. Y'all ain't leaving me out here to get shot. We go over to Brinks' apartment. His mom was still alive at that time. I believe I heard his mom passed. If so, rest in peace, Mom Dukes. What up, Brinks? We go in there, kick it for a little while, man. Brinks has got like a homemade studio made, set up in the apartment. One of the back bedrooms is a studio. We're listening to all these exclusive beats that have been sent to him from the record labels. Boom, the time rolls around where he kicks it with this dude that's a DJ. It's like his best friend. We go to the after party. We pull up. And at first, you can't, like, we're looking. We're like, what the hell is the entrance? There's so many people outside passing out their mixtapes. Girls trying to meet somebody famous. Dudes just that ain't got no business there. There's no way they're going to get in. The place is already at capacity. And my homeboy Brinks is calling the people like, yo, we here, man. Like, they not letting nobody in. He tells them, hey, go around the back. We go around the back, and there's a whole ass load of black Suburbans lined up. And it's got to be 150, 200 people in this crowd standing behind this building, like this warehouse. And all you see is an ocean of red hats. Philadelphia hats, Boston hats, Cincinnati Red hats, Chicago Bulls hats. It's all gang members. This is the gang's entourage and dudes that showed up there to see him, to support him. It's all, I mean, there's Pyrus everywhere. There's just every type of blood you can think about is out back if you're right. So we make our way to the crowd, make our way to the door, and they're there wanding everybody down, checking everybody for weapons and shit. We tell, my homeboy tells him, Jimmy Brinks, right? Dude says, all right, who's with you? Me and I think it was like 4 of us. They let us in. We going in, and the first thing I notice is we come down this hallway, and it opens up into this big room, and it's like a warehouse. So the ceilings are like 20 foot tall in this warehouse. They've got porn playing from a projector, and the music is so loud you can't hear the porn, but you can see it. And it's projecting itself on a wall, and this shit is taking up an entire wall in this warehouse. It's like a 20-foot penis on the wall, and females, like, this porn is just playing. And I'm like, gone, faded off the bars once again. Highs, you know, just crazy high off the wet. We make our way down that hallway through that big room where they was playing that on, and it opens up to this room with this stage. Big ass, massive room, people everywhere. There's an open bar, pay bar. And then because we're with Brinks, they got all these couches in the center of this room in a circle. And that's where the game and his people are at. He's in there, you know, rapping with these, not rapping, we say rapping, we mean kicking it. He's in this, in the center of these circular couches, talking to all these females. Jimmy Brinks walks up, says what's up to him, introduces him. Dude don't pay us much mind. He don't know us like that, you know what I mean? We're going about our night. My man Brinks performs. A bunch of other dudes perform that night. Non-Brigade, for dudes that remember Non-Brigade from Philly. They was out there that night. So many different people was out there that night. Night comes to an end. Brian's like, yo, we going to the hotel room to game in them. Like, he told me find some females, we're going to get up with them. No. We can't be hanging out with famous people. Man, that dude ain't said 2 words to us, bro. You are drunk. Like, you thinking this is what's going to happen. That ain't what's going to happen. To this day, I don't know if that's what's going to happen. Nah, I was all against it. Nah. Even being all messed up and out of my mind, I knew being on the run, having everybody looking for us, The last thing we want to do is be hanging out with somebody that's got all this publicity and, you know, he's got cameras around him and shit. That is a bad look. You're an idiot right now. He gets mad. We end up leaving. Go to Brink's house. Stay there for a little bit. Now it's late night, right? I'm not even sure how the hell we got back to where we were staying off Greenway. I'm not even sure how we got to Jimbo McClay's house, to be honest. The next morning rolls around. All shit hits the fan. I wake up that morning, and as we was headed home, 3 o'clock, something like that in the morning, there's a little place not far from us. I don't think this place ever closed. I never knew it to be closed. You go in there whatever time of night and they'll make you a sandwich. They're gonna feed you. I go in there, give me a hoagie, get my, you know, my cheese steak, whatever. Go back to the apartment. Roll a blunt, smoke some of the blunt, and pass out. That morning I wake up groggy, not feeling good. Being hungover is just like an everyday thing. Go to the refrigerator, grab my leftover sandwich, microwave it, grab a half drink 40 out the refrigerator, go sit on the couch. Like I told you, we're surrounded by beef. Sit on the couch, smoking my blunt, eating this sandwich, drinking this 40. I hear that knock at the door. Don, 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 don. That knock that you know when you hear it. There's only one person in the world that knocks like that. The only people that knock like that. You know that knock that. That's the police. Before I could tell my homeboy, my other homeboy I told you came from VA, don't open that door, he opens the door. And they come. Some of these dudes got ski masks on. At first, I thought we were getting jacked. I thought we were getting robbed. These U.S. Marshals, they got their faces masked up. M9 machine guns, small assault rifles, like small ones, like out of them old school video games, right? They run up in there. They think the dude that answers the floor is Brian. Get on the ground, get on the ground, get on the ground. Just like that, my reign of terror was coming to an end. To be continued. As always, y'all know what I'm doing, man. I'm just trying to keep y'all entertained. Are you not entertained? Like always, this is Jay Williams. Let's live life. To all my real ones, and there are some real ones watching. Because y'all still watching me. Man, y'all know how we do.